On September 19th, 2025, I posted my first video. First video ever on YouTube. It was titled, I Want to Be a Raider. I didn't know how to stream. I didn't know how to do anything. I watched a lot of it. I watched a lot of people streaming. I watched a lot of YouTubers and all sorts of stuff. And I had zero way of doing stuff legitly. When I say legitly, I mean the only way I had access to being on Twitch was to hit the share button and then go live there. I was beholden to the internet. I was beholden to latency and lag and all sorts of stuff like that. And it was really kind of petty of me to do this. I was in a fight with a friend of mine about making sure we had all the right stuff and making sure everything would look good, and in the end decided just to go ahead and wing it. Later on, I was able to download those videos and then edit them and put them on YouTube, and they are still there. I'm looking at the analytics right now. It was originally called Fenrir Sky Plays, and I was trying to do stuff. It didn't work out, and it didn't ever gain traction. 150 subscribers. I have 50,000 views on there. 50,000 is super amazing. I think that's awesome that I ever got 50,000 people to watch something of mine. And then I look at what they are, and it's a Godzilla shit post and a bunch of reactions to Smash. I spent a lot of time working on a lot of different projects that I wanted to get going. There was a time that I tried doing it was called Yo or No, where I would go and do a demo and play the demo and decide whether it was good or not, and it died. There was another project that I tried doing, which was Nostalgia Reborn, where it was me looking at old games that were being remade. I did a Digimon one and I did a Monster Hunter one. Two games that I have super big nostalgia and, I guess, just passion for. And I worked really hard on those videos. I worked so hard, and I look back at them now, and they're very, like, cringy to look at, but it's just kind of like, you know, I worked hard on those, and it didn't go anywhere. There was a time where we tried the Fang podcast. It was me and my friends doing a podcast called The Forgetful and Nerdy Gamers. Fang podcast, where our acronym is cooler than us. That kind of went under just because everybody went their own ways. We stopped meeting up, and it just fell through. It was then about 6 years ago that I started doing Twitch. Channel Onward. I like it. I really like streaming. I really do. And there's a lot of, how do I put it? I guess I have a lot of mixed feelings. There's So I guess the best way I could put it is, I love making people laugh. Even at the cost of making fun of myself, I want people to laugh. I want to know that I can give that joy to people. I want people to know that, I guess, want to know that when I hear them laugh and it was a joke that I said, good timing, good funny, dialogue and stuff, even if it's just, like I said, making fun of me. I like to make them laugh. I pretty sure it was Robin Williams who said that people who want to make other people laugh are hurting themselves inside. Like, they want to just make sure no one else feels like they do. I haven't streamed in a while, and I want to come clean with you guys. I have a lot of thoughts in my head sometimes. It's busy up there. Currently, right now, I have under 300 followers on Twitch. I've been streaming for over 6 years now on Twitch, and a lot of people would say that's not a lot. Personally, I love every single one of you who have decided to say follow, and I've been blessed with a whole bunch of people who have been very kind and generous and have supported me. People who have decided to gift me things, gift me donations and stuff, and through the community that I helped build, we were able to do 2 really good fundraisers, and it's been great. I really have enjoyed all that time. But there's this nagging feeling in the back of my head, and it's, you're not good enough. I've had slight envy over other people who started out when I did and started getting bigger than I did. And it's real petty to think of it like that. But I never wanted to be famous. I wanted to be proud of what I did. And I wanted people to see it. See the work that I put into it. See the work that I do. And see everything that I have done. Call it vain, call it what you will. I just wanted people to have a fun place, and they could laugh, and we could make a community together. So I've been dealing with a lot of that. I've been dealing a lot of depression, I guess. A lot of feelings of not being good enough. Not trying to I also really have troubles saying no to people. A lot of people started asking if I wanted to do stuff with them, and while I do want to, I want to do stuff with them, and I want to do fun collabs and have good days where I get to stream with other people. I'm also fucking 37 years old and a dad of 2. I'm so old. A lot of people deal with these kind of feelings, these kind of downtrodden, these depressed feelings in different ways. And how I usually do it is just because of the ADHDs and stuff like that. They talk about stuff called it's compartmentalization. Putting stuff in different boxes and dealing with it later. Not really the most healthy thing, I guess, but it's hope. But as bad as it can be to think about have something that's like a bad memory pop up, or lost friendships and such pop up and such like that, it hurts just as it did the first time it happened. You can also try to use it to help yourself. How I do it is usually just playing a video game that I liked. playing something that made me happy, listening to music that might have been during a very bad part of my life, and when it decided to pop up out of nowhere, now whenever I listen to that music, I go back. When I think about how I've tried fixing stuff for Channel Onward, I always thought about going and doing a popular game that's out right then, a big game, your big stream games that are like all the ones that are, hey, what's big right now, what's new, what's everybody playing. I've tried to focus on games that are, now this channel will be focused on this kind of stuff, but then I just get the attention goes to 50 different other things. I want to play this, I play it, I hyperfixate on it, and then I drop it, followed by going to a different game and hyperfixating on it and then dropping it. And it's just turned me into a variety streamer, which I stream whatever I can, whenever I can. And that's, according to every single successful stream kind of stuff, says it's bad. Don't do that. But I like to show the games that make me happy. That's why I played Devil May Cry. That's why I played Final Fantasy VII. That's why I play Monster Hunter. That's why I play everything. I always like a game with a story. And not just like, any game has a story mode in it. It's got to be something that's like, it makes you feel something. It makes you feel good. It makes you feel bad. It makes you feel something. I love those story games. Heavily driven, and maybe even if it's a bad game, something that has like a real gut punch, feel good, feel bad moment. And I didn't script anything for this. I had thoughts that I wanted to actually put down. I didn't want to bullet point anything, but like my thoughts are everywhere right now. So I'm sorry if it sounds like I'm scatterbrained. A game I've always wanted to play on stream but haven't had the ability to because I don't understand how emulators work and ROMs and stuff like that. Usually people guide me through it if that's the case, and there's no good way to stream it without it being bad, because it's still the old PS3 version. But Ashura's Wrath has a really cool scene where Ashura is he's a demigod. He has the whole thing is he's trying to fight to get vengeance and save his daughter. At one point, spoilers, I'm sorry. At one point, Ashura decides that he sees this girl who is years and years away from whatever he was from. He keeps coming back to life after dying and stuff like that. Thousands of years later, he sees a girl that looks just like his daughter, and she doesn't make it after people attack him. And it breaks him in a game that's about about Ashura's wrath. He explodes with even more anger, turning into a monster that shoots into the heavens. It's shooting a whole bunch of different things everywhere. Explosions in the skies. You see the sky itself is full of explosions, and I remember feeling. You feel his anguish, his sadness, his anger, his wrath as it's happening. And that game, everybody thinks that game, I get it's kind of like watching a movie, but now we still play Telltale games like it's nothing, and then I guess that just us to say that, that's a story game that I would love to play, but I never have. Devil May Cry, a whole game series, where in Devil May Cry 3, you go and play as a young Dante finding out about Virgil. Devil May Cry 1, you play as an older Dante who is kind of like trying to figure out stuff, but he's you know, working and stuff. He sees someone who looks like his mom. Devil May Cry 4, they skipped 2 for some reason. Devil May Cry 4, you see that after all this time where he's lost his brother, he sees a young spunky kid and completely realizes that's his nephew. And then Devil May Cry 5, a culmination of brotherly sibling rivalry, I guess you could say, and just needing to stop the other, but then finding out that the new generation is here to and is strong enough to be able to stop bad stuff from happening. I love that whole idea, that whole story. Something as simple as Shovel Knight, where it is a knight with a shovel who goes out and does a whole bunch of heroic deeds with his friend Shield Knight, only for one day Shield Knight being taken away and he doesn't know what happened to her, and then hears about this Order of No Quarter and has to go through all different things just to get to it. And it's like the small little things, like every time you beat a couple of missions, you have a dream where he is plagued, not Plague Knight, he is plagued with the image of his friend, his confidant, his possible lover. He sees Shield Knight falling out of the sky and just catch her. It feels good to put yourself in these shoes, and that's what gaming is, you know? It's the story of it. Sure, we could play multiplayer games where we make our own stories and such. Sure, we could play shooting games that really don't have a big story, but we still enjoy to play them. You could play games for a bunch, but at the end of the day, I want to play a game that has a great story. I find it really hard to say no to a lot of people. And, you know, I have friends that I'm grateful to have, and that I've lost friends too. It's hard to go back and know that, like, when you mess up, you have to eventually know that sometimes it's I guess the best way to put it is it's gonna be okay. Mistakes are things that make us. Mistakes are things that you're supposed to learn from. And sometimes you don't. Sometimes you fail in all sorts of things you've tried to make sure you don't lose. And sometimes you just fail. Sometimes you just fail. About 9 years ago on my channel, on YouTube, I played a game that I didn't really care about. I heard about it, people talked about it, it had a whole big following, and I just didn't care about this game, but my cousin desperately wanted me to play this game. So I did. it was hard not to know anything about this game since it was so big, but like I didn't know the characters. I knew one. Hard not to know who that guy was, but you know, I played this game. I failed at it. I messed up, and in the end, I didn't get a happy ending. And that was 9 years ago. I wanted to go back to do it. I really did, but there were other games that I wanted to do too. And I just never did. I didn't know when I should. I didn't know if anybody would care to watch it, you know? And with the numbers that I kept seeing in the past constantly going down and down, and the stagnant just numbers that I see, the realization that some people might not even see this that I'm doing. I recently wanted to go back and play it again because a new game that this creator came out with, he came out with a new one, and I didn't want to play it because I never got to know every single thing from that first game. I didn't know who such and such was. I didn't know if there were going to be references that they had. And I didn't know the whole story. I didn't know because I never tried it. But my best friend wanted me to go through and beat it again because he said that the next game is so good. And it could be, you know, whatever. It could just be another, maybe it's a fad, I don't know. But I wanted to know the story, and I had this weird brain goblin. That original file is gone because it's on a different computer. It didn't have a cloud save. It was just it was because all the files are in the computer itself. I felt like I couldn't play to get the happy ending of this game. And it put me in a gridlock. This is just some of those things that I talk about where my brain makes problems for itself. And he didn't call me dumb. He said that I was crazy for doing what I ended up doing. I went back and 9 years ago went through that playthrough that I did, and I replayed the game, completed every single thing that I did. I killed the characters that I wasn't supposed to, and I made the choices that I had in the original game. And so yeah, I have it's not the same, but it is the same choices that I made 9 years ago. And the game is Undertale, in case you haven't figured it out. I killed a couple things in the first dungeon in the tutorial, in Toriel's little area. I killed a couple things. I hit level 2, and then realized that there were ways that I could do other things, but then I wanted XP, but I only hit level 2, and it was fighting against Toriel that you feel something. She's looking at you, and she's protecting you, trying to tell you not to leave. Stay here. Why can't you just go back to your room? And right next to your room, it's kind of funny. There, like the house it's a normal house. It's colored and everything. It's nice. It's cute. And on the one side, you see a like there's the rooms. There's a couch and a chair that has fur. A sink that's got fur stuck in it is what it was. and in between some of the hallways is a mirror, and you like look at it and it says it's you. Duh, it's a mirror. And you go through and you have to get past Toriel, and it hurts because you see it in this pixelated game that's just like black and white, that you only see black and white on the fighting, and you see as the attacks are avoiding you, big attacks that hurt, and you see her eyes start shifting like she doesn't want to do this, and you realize all she wants to do is protect you, and it's not working, and in the end she gives up and lets you go. And throughout the game you go and you continue. You meet Sans, the best Skeleboy ever. You meet Papyrus, second best Skeleboy ever. You meet all these other characters, and during this playthrough, everybody talked up a character named Undine. I'm gonna call her Undine because that's what I know. Undine decides to fight you, and my cousin wanted to know what I thought about her storyline, and I couldn't answer because I made mistakes and I killed in the beginning, and if you do that, Undine doesn't ever forgive you. Undine. God, I just said I was gonna say Undine. She doesn't forgive you because you murdered, you killed. At the end of the game, you get judged by Sans. Sans judges how good of a person you are. And you go through and realize you're not a good person. You messed up. But he says it's okay. And I had a moment where I was going through and I was hearing my own voice talk about it. And that was 9 years ago. Right before the very end of the game, you go through a room and you get to a house that's all black and white. And if you remember, it is Toriel's house. There's the rooms, a chair that doesn't have anybody, doesn't look like it's been used in a long time. And a mirror. You look at this mirror and hit the button. Fight everything. It's still you. It's a nothing line. Like, I'm sure people read that line and maybe thought, ooh, how deep. But as I was replaying through this game, it hit me. It hit me hard. I started thinking about everything else that's been going on in life in general, and feeling like I failed at things, feeling like I failed at my creativeness, my every time I started drawing, I felt like it wasn't as good as something else. I felt like it was just not good enough. But those words, despite everything, it's still you. It just kind of... It was like it was what I needed to hear. I went ahead, I beat the game. I did what I needed to do. And at the very end, you can choose to fight or spare. Mercy, if you will. A certain individual. I still don't know who this character is. He's just a flower. But, like, it's been in the farthest compartment. Gone. Didn't ever think about it until I pulled that drawer open again. Can you beat the game, get to this point, without hurting anybody? And I wanted to make sure that when I tried doing it again, it wasn't the first time on my computer's file that it thought that I wanted to do it right. I wanted it to know that I failed the first time, so that the next time I try doing it, I can succeed and do it correctly, and do it exactly how I needed to do it in order to make sure that I get a happy ending. And that just kind of made me remind myself. I say it at the end of every stream. I say it all the time. I said it so much I forgot what it meant. And it, to the point of, with repetition, it dulls. It doesn't mean anything anymore. But it's the channel's name. You know, it was supposed to be a joke at first. A friend of mine and I were making RPG Maker titles back in college, and we both decided to make different characters and stuff, but we put each other in the games and stuff. And in his game, he had me play it one day, and there I show up, and my character says, "Onward." I said, "Who the fuck says onward?" He goes, "You do, apparently." And it just kept on turning into me saying it all the time out of just the joke of it all, saying onward, onward, onward. And then it did stick, and it turned into something I said a lot. And turned into, I always said it. Always go onward became my catchphrase, my title, and kind of forgot. There's a whole another game that I need to play that I never wanted to because I never got my happy ending. I never saw what happens if you don't kill anyone in Undertale. Never got the pacifist run. And that stopped me from having more fun with a new game, because what if there was something I didn't get? There was something that I didn't do. But in the same sense, I wanted it to be authentic and real, and I wanted the story. I want my happy ending. I want to see more stories. And I want to make people smile more. And I've realized in this time that I've been off that I smiled less and became more cynical and started retreating a bit. But I think I'm ready. One more time. I'm gonna give it one more shot. I'm gonna get that happy ending, and we'll figure out where we go from there. Whether we go straight to Deltarune, or play other games that have stories in them, or just dumb and I can make people smile again. That's letting me smile again. So, give this one more shot. My name is Kyle. This is Channel Onward. And always go onward.